Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. This is Guns and Gadgets, the premier source for Second Amendment news. Today's third video. Today, this one. Haven't seen three, double check, because YouTube tries to keep the Second Amendment news from happening. I bring you news every single day, so subscribe to the channel down below to stay in the loop. Talking about what New York has done. The state of New York has attempted to moot Gun Owners of America's case versus the CCIA, the Concealed Carry Improvement Act, which was the Bruin response bill from Kathy Hochul, the governor, passed hours after the Bruin decision came down. What they're trying to do is they're trying to change a segment of that law that will change the land work, the groundwork for one of the plaintiffs in the GOA case. Sorry, it's a little windy, but I wanted to be outside. It's beautiful. So Pastor Mann is, if you remember me talking about this case, or if you read the case, Pastor Mann is the pastor whose church is now a gun-free zone, right? And he also lives in the same property. So either way, he can't carry in his home because it's a church, right? It's one of the special places that they can't carry guns. You can't have your rights there. So New York is looking to change the rules, change the law a little bit to allow churches to designate someone to carry. Thus, Pastor Mann can designate himself as a concealed carrier there. However, that would still violate his Second Amendment rights because he'd have to post all kinds of signs. Now, my friend who is the attorney on this case, Stephen Stambulia, he has written a letter to the clerk of court in the Second Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. I'm going to put it here on the screen because I think it's important you remember the only reason we're here on this case right now is because GOA went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said to the Second Circuit, you better expedite this or give us a reason on why you stopped the stay. And if New York tries to moot this case and they're successful, this is going to go right back to the Supreme Court. Check it out. So the letter says, Dear Mrs. Wolf, Appellant's 28J letter advertising the recent enactment amendments to the CCIA claims that two of appellee's challenges are mooted, something appellees dispute. In any event, the 28J letter is an inappropriate vehicle for dispositive motion practice. Appellants represent that persons responsible for security now may carry firearms in places of worship, allegedly mooting Pastor Mann's challenge on that ground. Appellant's apparent position that Pastor Mann's church, in the sole discretion, may now designate or allow anyone, up to and including the general public, to be responsible for security and thus to carry firearms on church property would be a welcome change. Sorry, for some reason my neighbor's now driving railroad spikes into his garden. If that is not appellant's binding legal position, they should so advise the court. But either way, it does not moot appellee's claims. First, appellees also alleged that other provisions of the CCIA operate to ban firearms in Pastor Mann's church as well. Second, Pastor Mann's church, as private property, would remain covered by the CCIA's restricted locations provision, still requiring express consent or clear and conspicuous signage. Third, the amendments effectively treat church property as a restricted location against which appellees raised a First Amendment compelled speech claim, requiring affirmative actions from or statements by the church and flipping the default rule that firearms may be carried unless specifically prohibited. Appellants also claim that plaintiff Layman's challenge is mooted insofar as the amendments now exempt forest preserve land and privately held land within a park from the public park's firearm prohibition. However, plaintiff Layman challenged the public park's prohibition broadly. Plaintiff Johnson did so as well. Respectfully submitted, Stephen Stambulia, who is the attorney on this case. So New York is trying a tactic they've done before, try to moot the case so it gets tossed out. It's an attempt to throw the case out. It's all it is. New York thinks they're quick. They think they're clever. But if they do it, the Supreme Court's going to have to talk about this case, and I don't think they really want that. So stay tuned to what's going on. I'll have that information here for you. Till we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. Again, if you haven't seen 3 videos today, it's because YouTube's not doing their job. Check the channel often, hit the subscribe button, make sure you turn on all notifications, like the video and share it so more people see it. I look forward to talking to you again. Take care.